3, 2, 1, let's jam. So this is my further thoughts video on Cowboy Bebop soundtrack by Rose Bridges. As I talked about in my last video about this book, Cowboy Bebop is my favorite series. Not just my favorite anime series, just my favorite series. And this book is a in-depth guide to the music of the series, as well as a guide to the episodes. It not only goes into the music soundtrack and Yoko Kanno's influences and themes and sounds as a composer, but also goes into the metatextual nature of Bebop and how it freely borrows from a host of things. It goes into not only the career of Yoko Kanno, but also Shinichiro Watanabe, the director of Bebop, and gives you an idea of how they both like to borrow from various sources and different sounds and genres to create something uniquely their own. If you've ever wanted to watch Cowboy Bebop, this is definitely a good book to read, because it's a backstory about not only its history and its broadcast, but also kind of the influences and the history of the creators of it. And it goes into heavily detail about, Yoko Kanno's use of like blues and jazz and funk and hip-hop and other sounds to create her own music, which highlight the scenes. And in the book we'll also talk about how these scenes are used textually to emphasize a mood or a tone that Shinichiro Watanabe is creating in Bebop. It's a very comprehensive guide, even though it's such a short book. I read it in just an hour or so. It's a very slim book, but it's a very, very in-depth look at it. It talks about the characters and their stories and how the music and style of the show highlight what's going on with them. It talks about Yoko Kanno's history before, during, and after Bebop. It talks about Shinichiro Watanabe's filmography as a director and how he does other series in anime that freely borrow from things, like Kids on the Slope and Samurai Champloo, which also incorporate free-willing approach to incorporating various influences. It's such a good book. I definitely am going to read it again soon. And I highly recommend anyone who is already a fan of Bebop, or if you've always wanted to watch Cowboy Bebop and you didn't really know what to think about it, this is a good book to get you into it. Because it kind of guides you into the whole world, it guides you to what the sounds of the soundtrack is, gives you an idea of what to expect when you go watch Cowboy Bebop. It's a show brimming with moods and environments and ideas and themes, and this book goes into each and every one of them, and that's what I like about it. It's just such a good book. Rose Bridges writes very analytically about all these things, and you can tell she's done a shitload of research on these things. And her style is very brief, to the point. She cuts out all the bullshit and gets straight to analysis of the music in the series, as well as the storytelling, and why it works, and how it works. And definitely recommend it. It's a fantastic book about my favorite series, so of course I love it. So, I've always wanted a book about Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. I didn't actually know this existed till about earlier this year. I was looking it up. I was like, has anyone written a book about the music of Cowboy Bebop? And lo and behold, I found it. As I said in my last video, this is a very readily available book. You can order it on Amazon. It's not too expensive. And especially if you're not only interested in anime, but especially if you just like music. If you're like a music major, or like you study music, or study sounds of music, or just for your own research, if you're not even a music person and just kind of want to get a little deeper into researching music, I definitely recommend it for that as well. So, anime aficionados can enjoy it, music aficionados can enjoy it, and just fans of Bebop can enjoy it. So it's a good book all around, and would actually, I think, make a good present for somebody or something. Especially if you know somebody that loves anime, or loves Bebop, or is a huge music nerd like I am. Highly recommend it. So this is just kind of my further thoughts on it. So, not much to say. I wasn't expecting this to be a long video, just kind of a general further explanation as to why I recommend this book. And, but definitely check it out. And also just check out Yoko Kanno's music. And if you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, please, for the love of God, watch it. It is so good. It is... There's a reason it's considered one of the best anime series. But anyways, that's it for now. I'll be up with another video soon. I've really had a lot of time lately, so I've actually been trying to crank these out pretty quickly. Just to make up for lost time that I haven't been able to. And so I should have another video up soon. So until then, guys, see you, Space Cowboy.